I think at this point, from a workout standpoint or training standpoint, I think what's going to be done is done. I think now it's going to be a matter of being rested up and our kids having the right frame of mind when we step on the track up there. I felt like, based upon what we've been able to accomplish at this point, that physically I think we're ready to go. Again, it's just going to depend upon who shows up. Well, I expect them to do everything they can possibly do to win a conference championship, and I think they will. This is one of the meets where we go into that it would be nice if we could get a qualifying mark out of the meet, but the most important thing is to go up there and beat somebody. And our kids understand that, and a lot of our better kids are going to be doubled and tripled and even quadrupled up in some things with that intent that we're going to try to score as many points as we can to win the conference championship. So for the most part, we're not too concerned about qualifying marks. If that happens, that's great. But most importantly, we're going to try to find out how many points it's going to take for us to come out on top. I said last year going into the meet that it could be one of the most exciting that we've seen, and I'm going to say that again because really on paper, my goodness, it really come down to single digits again on both sides, the men and the women's race. And there's about 3 teams that, based upon the list going in, that it's going to be wide open. Anybody's going to have a chance. And I think that's why it's so important that, like I mentioned earlier, that we get ourselves ready mentally to get after it. And, not everybody on the list will do everything they're in. We've got kids in multiple events on the list that it's just not possible to do them because they're back-to-back or something like that. But, when you go through the conference rankings and things like that, it could very easily be single digits between first, second, and third. So I think it's going to be a neat event to watch for a spectator. I don't know how neat it's going to be for me to watch, but whatever you come out on. Yeah. Anytime, if you come out on top, then it can be close. I don't care about that, but I do think it's going to be a great meet. I think obviously, West Texas A&M is extremely strong this year, and being at home, I think their kids are going to have a lot to compete for, and that'll make them tough. Typically the distance runners like it when it's cooler. So, if the wind doesn't get up, then it can make the distance races and the oval races a little bit maybe better quality than they have been when it's been 90 degrees or something. But, for some of the other events, the sprint events, short sprints, things like that, usually the hotter the weather will produce better marks. But, again, everybody's got to do it. So, we might not see as fast at times as we'd like to see, but everybody's running against everybody running for places right now anyway. So. Oh, I think so. Maybe if you ask them today, maybe not. But I think when it comes time to step on the track Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, depending upon when they start their meet, I think they will be ready. One of the great things about working at Angelo State is, and this was here long before I got here, is we have such a great tradition in track and field here, and our kids understand that, and they want to uphold that tradition. And so I think they understand the magnitude of what we're up against, and they do understand that in track it's different because you get one shot a year and that's it. And so I feel very confident that we'll be ready to go when it comes time. Well, I think so. Obviously that was one of the first things we talked about at the beginning of the year with the women, is that we're going to try to win 5 in a row, and the guys. It sounds crazy, but it's been a long time since we've won a conference championship, but that still is our goal every single year. And like I've said before, I think it does speak to the quality of our conference with regards to track and field. And the men, they desperately want to be on top of the podium, and I don't think they're jealous, but they wish they could experience the same thing that the women had last year and the year before. And so I do think that drives them. I know we've got some seniors that would love to be able to leave here as conference champions, and I know that those guys will be able to. They'll do everything that we ask them to do to give us a chance, and I think that's all. It's what we tell the team. If we can just have a chance on paper, then that gives us something to really work for when we get there, and there is a chance. So.